What's up, chums? Sharky here, and welcome back to the Shark Bites podcast. Today I'm with Maxydawuffsky. You want to say hi?
What up, fam? Yes, Maxydawuffsky here.
How you
We are
been?
ready.
How you been this week?
It's been a quiet week. For myself, I don't get out much. I just kind of observe the world through the windows of my phone and my house. Uh, got some VR chat news is really all that's up with my week since usually whenever I say I'm getting out, I'm getting on VR chat.
You're gonna spoil the topic.
Yeah. Well, that's what we'll get into it. I feel like it's why we've been selected, but we'll get into it later. That's literally all I kind of have going on.
Has work
It's
been
been a slow
okay?
week. It's been slow for work. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So,
Mm.
I just had like 2 months of stores being like, "Oh, it's slow," but now there's like this trade show going on. I think everyone was just saving up money for that.
Mm-hmm.
But things are back to normal now, and I have orders, so I'm working till at least the 5th of next month.
Okay.
So that's good. Yeah.
Well, I've just been busy lately. um, the work's been kind of crazy because we're getting some new people soon, new hires, and everybody's losing their stuff over it. Um, but on a good note, I managed to pay all my bills this month.
Fuck yeah.
And
I hear that.
also my boyfriend is coming to visit August 12th through the 28th, so he'll be here.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, I'm excited.
That's like 2 weeks.
I know. I'm like, that soon, really? He's like, yeah, I'm off work, so let's go.
Awesome. That's what's up. Yeah, I hope I get to meet him. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I definitely want to hang out if you guys are free.
Yeah, we'll make time. We'll make it happen.
Right on. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and get into the topic then, since you already mentioned it.
I didn't know it was a secret.
It wasn't a secret. I'm just messing with you. So you know more about it than I do. Do you want to kind of go ahead and explain what's going on?
Oof. Okay, yes, I will do that with the disclaimer that I don't dive super into this stuff. I just kind of there's a lot more information out there than I can provide, especially since I am not a computer savvy person. I use my
Mm-hmm.
boyfriend's computer, but I am still a participant in the VR world. Um, I'm just not very tech savvy. All that disclaimer said, VR chat are in my eyes, they're like going full communist mode right now, and they're just like trying to control how we like live our virtual lives by implementing how they're implementing this new EAC program, which it does a lot. I feel like everybody kind of has their own reasons to be upset at it, but its
Mm-hmm.
general thing is that it's not allowing the users to have performance mods installed. And the way that this EAC does this is it like, and this is the just one part that I have a problem with, is it like looks into your computer. You
Mm.
start up your computer, you open up a video game, and this video game it checks like files on your desktop. Like it goes into your computer, which is kind of invasive. I get
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Um, and it's checking to make sure that you don't have any kind of like programs that could edit the game or the gameplay. And they say that they're doing this to make it a safer. This is just such a big topic. I don't even know where to like branch off.
It's
They
okay. Just
say that
let it
they're
fly.
doing this to make it like a safer world because there are, quote unquote bad people, that's like the term I'm gonna be using for hackers, the bad people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they are, they come in and they can steal your private avatars or possibly even your account information. And then if they have that, they can associate the IP address with your
Mm.
real address. And then, depending on that password, they might have that. So that's like a worst case scenario thing. But really what mostly it is people having really crazy shaders on their avatars and stuff. So that way it's like a fun joke, I guess, to like run through and just cause everybody in a public lobby's computer to crash because most people's computers can't handle it.
Yeah.
So that's like the problem. All right. And a lot of everyday players download these mods that help. They're apparently like anti-crashing mods. Um, I don't use them, but apparently it's a really big thing that helps people like not be subject to that kind of a virtual assault.
Mhm.
Um, and it helps the game filter that kind of stuff out. And VR Chat wants to take it away and basically wants us to give them all the power in protecting us. And like that doesn't sound super unreasonable, but the thing is VR Chat cannot beat the hackers. Nobody can, especially whenever you piss off a whole community in the process.
Mhm.
And they're doing that because that's not all this EAC is going to do. It's not just about that. There's a lot of people that rely on these mods for eyesight disability or the deaf. Um,
Mhm.
Lots of things that I'm also just learning about. I thought because me, I'm I'm pretty. There's also people like me. I'm very upset because it takes away some ERP mods and all that kind of stuff, and I think it's kind of wrong to whenever you host a whole universe as a game, it's kind of wrong to tell people what they can and can't do in a private world that they built.
Yeah.
Um, I think that that's messed up. So taking away like things like Vibe Goes Burr is just un-American. But that's not really what most people are upset about. That's just me. But I am more upset whenever I found out about all the other stuff that's coming along with it.
Mhm.
So yeah, and you
Well,
take a
after
sorry.
after you told me about it this morning or whenever we talked about it last, um I didn't know about all of the like disability mods that people were upset about. Like they were removing those. Like that's kind of a big deal, you know?
Yeah, that's the problem is they're just going on full blanket, like taking them all away. When really they should be working on making the game better so that way people don't need these mods.
Yeah,
They
like more
should
accessible. Yeah.
yeah. And I'm personally really upset about the whole thing because this isn't the first time VR Chat's done something like this. So it really feels like some kind of oppressive government constantly trying to I'm just using that as like a metaphor, but it's because a while back uh they said that they were going to take away all the mods and stuff and they lost like half their people overnight. Like it was a big deal and they were like, "Oh snap, sorry, my bad."
Hmm.
And so then what they decided to do is work with the people that were supplying the main mod, which was I believe called like Melon Loader.
Mhm.
And so then they released an update with the mods. So like the mods were kind of like in the game already. It was like a
Yeah.
part of the game. But what they did is they took that and they only applied some of it. So basically VR chat was like, we're gonna take all your mods away. And people were like, no, like and they were like, what? Oh, sorry. How about we let you keep some? And then people were like, okay, I guess that's fine. Even though it took away some other stuff. And then everyone kind of got settled in and was cool with that compromise because that's genuinely what it was. And then they come back and they're like, okay, now that we're working with the mod people, we think we have the ability to handle all your problems. So no more mods for you. Give us all your big boy toys. And that's just like you, they can't do that. They can't promise that. Hackers
Yeah.
have already proven that too, and it's gonna make like they need to invest in making the game better.
I guess
So people
like
don't have to edit the game like that. And they
yeah.
need to listen to the community better. And there's like tens of thousands of people right now upset at them, and I saw some kind of petition with like over 17,000 signatures on it, and then their Twitters are blown up, and they recently posted a response that was very like half-assed.
Mm.
Um, and y'all should just check it out on their Twitter. But
Yeah, I
yeah.
was kind of browsing through there, but I guess like me being mostly a Quest user right now, I haven't really like noticed a lot of changes that they've made like that. Like you were saying the first time that they tried it, I never even noted that cuz
Yeah, it's definitely like an advanced thing. I feel like a lot of people who just have VR as like a novelty or a every now and then thing aren't going to care or
or
notice these programs, especially if they are not relying on any kind of mods.
yeah, they said like this would
And
mostly affect PC players that mod stuff.
definitely. And I feel like they're kind of banking on this whole thing to kind of stay in business. But their their VR chat's mostly PC players because you get so much more out of the game when you play like that.
True, yeah.
A little bit off topic, but I just gotta bring it up. I read, um, and this might need to be fact checked, but I'm gonna talk about it anyway.
Sure, go
I
for it.
heard that they're raising the price of the Quest by 25%, even though it's already been out.
Really?
Yeah, they're raising it to 400.
Well, I'm glad I bought it when I did.
Right now, whenever you resell it, you can sell it for how much you bought it for.
I literally bought it like maybe not even a month after it came out, and it was
Yeah,
like the three whatever it was, 350 or something like that.
yeah, it was 350, I think, and now it's gonna be like 400 or 450. But
Lame.
they it's like I get why they're doing it because it's from like a business standpoint. It's like why not for
Mhm.
real? Because it is the cheapest headset on the market. You already got people like you already sparked it, you know. But and inflation is going up. However,
Right.
it's motherfucking Facebook. Like
That's a
they have the money.
whole
They
nother.
have the money. Like they're not. They're just making more off of it. They're not.
Can I
There's
just
no real comments. Yeah, go in. Sorry.
I gotta talk about this since you brought it up.
Yeah.
So a couple of weeks ago, for those of you who don't know, like I am a Oculus Quest user, and I've had it since it came out, and I had it when, I think you still have to have a Facebook account to like log into it. But I got an email a couple weeks ago that said that basically instead of a Facebook account now, they're wanting you to make a Metaverse account, which is basically Facebook, but it's like, their rebrand or whatever. So they're like transferring over everybody's like information to Meta. And I feel like they're just trying to get more people to sign up for Meta this way by making them do this.
Yeah, Facebook's pretty well known for doing stuff like that for sure.
Mhm.
That sounds on the nose.
Well, everybody was complaining about like having to log into your Facebook account to even use the dang thing, and now they're like, "Will this make it better?"
I last time this happened when VR chat said that they were going to take away the mods, everybody went to chill out in Neos VR. And I'm not seeing as much of that this time around for some reason. I'm just seeing a lot of people fight to stay.
Mm.
Um, but I also, controversial, or the opposite of what I just said, I did see Chill Out VR's servers actually crash because they had 10,000 people try to sign up yesterday.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And then, but whenever I talk to people, people don't really, I think they don't seem receptive to it. And I think it's because people are impatient.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, Chill Out VR is run by some dude in his basement in Germany, is what I heard. I don't know.
It
Again,
wouldn't
y'all might want
surprise
to
me.
fact check everything because I don't leave my house. But um, so because of that, you don't have a lot of server space and stuff. But I'm I would much rather have that guy be in charge of my virtual reality world than some company who's trying to control the way that we play the game
I
when
agree.
it's a
I
free
agree.
playing game. It's not like we have leaderboards or any of that respect. If you're playing for respect, I don't know. Maybe there's some stipulations, but for the most part, Minecraft is a free playing game. So if you're just going in to build a world, I don't see any shame in using mod shaders or
Yeah,
anything like that. Um,
I agree.
so yeah, I think games like that, it's totally fine to use mods, especially when they're so cool.
You know what's also stupid? That console players have to pay to play online when PC players don't.
Yo, yeah, that is so dumb. Um, I wish I was better at computers because they are definitely superior. Um,
Yeah.
I wish I had learned a long time ago that consoles are basically fixed price computers. That's what
Mm-hmm.
they are. They don't do much. They run slow and they break really fast. And you can't. The biggest thing is you can't upgrade them.
Yeah.
Um, and I used to hate hearing the things that I'm saying now. I used to be Xbox all the way, but after owning three generations of them, problem is they're like iPhones. They just start running really slow as soon as the new one comes out.
Yeah.
And on top of that, this might apply to games too. Sorry, this I don't know if this is off topic or not, but when you purchase something from Xbox like online and stuff, you actually only own it as long as their servers up. You can't, which is very sad because
That
whenever I
is
was like a
dumb.
sixth grader, I spent like hundreds of dollars on downloadable content for my Rock Band songs. Now here we are, I'm 25. I still freaking love Rock Band. I still have the console, but I get on and I can only play the games from the disc. Even though I spent hundreds of dollars to own something, um, I don't have it anymore, which is
Mm.
dumb.
Yeah.
So the whole thing's kind of a scam, which is why I like PC. It's such a bigger world, so there's less of that. In the console world, you got like your Xbox and your PlayStation, and then they fight about it. It's like a political party thing.
Yeah. It really is. I mean, that's how heated people get about it sometimes.
Yeah. Um, yeah, like you can aim the gun faster on PC and stuff, which is why it brings into a whole conversation cross-platform, but it's just genuinely better. And I think whenever I played console, I saw that as like cheating, but it's not.
It's just a different platform.
Exactly. As long as you're playing with other people under the same circumstances, like it's fine.
The thing about, like you said, with servers and stuff, that does make me sad because I think of like all of the like Wii games and stuff that used to be online play. You can't even do it anymore because they shut all of that
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, and um I don't know, maybe I'm kind of I don't know how the words, but I just feel like there should be a huge disclaimer for that when selling games to children.
Yeah.
Because it very well might have been just me, but whenever I was around that age, I was preparing for the life I'm living now. Um, I was like saving my lunch money to have furniture
Mhm.
and stuff like that. And so I definitely would not have been spending money on stuff that I knew I wasn't actually going to own. That's just a really long rent, for sure. But yeah, do you have, I don't know really what else to say about the VR chat thing. I'm really holding out. They're saying, I think that is important to include in this podcast is if you are against it, you should just not sign into VR chat till at least the first. Let their numbers come in from the VR chat plus, cancel your account if you're really not against it, or if you really are against it, just show that you're there because the numbers are what's gonna matter. And if you want to go back, that's fine. You can keep playing.
Do you
But
have do you
if
have
you
the
want things
link?
to change, don't get online this week.
Do you have a link to the petition that you're talking about?
I don't. It's just something I saw.
Okay.
Um, and unfortunately, whenever I went to sign hashtag VR chat right now, and any platform like Twitter or whatnot will give you access to see what everybody is saying and what they are saying. And I think that that's a really good perspective too. You can also hop online if you're not against it, because I'm pretty sure that's where everybody is in who doesn't care is. So if you want to get their opinions, you could hop online. But if you're against it, I would just recommend not doing so and downloading Neos, which is basically VR chat on steroids. It's freaking awesome, honestly. It's just that there's a couple more buttons. And then there's Chill Out VR, which I still need to look into, but I hear it's really chill.
I even
But
heard that like they're kind of running the, what is it called? E what's it called?
EAC,
EAC. I heard that they're like running it in kind of like a sneaky mode right now to like basically shadow ban people that are using mods right now, like to test
yeah,
it.
that might have been possible. All I know is they gave, to my knowledge, it seems like they gave everybody a 24-hour notice. As
Mhm.
to if they were actually running it before then, I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, but there was, because I just recently got my headset working again. It wasn't working for a while, and now it's working half the time. So I've been on VR, like in the past week and stuff, and everybody was on this. Nobody was talking about this, and then VR chat dropped the news, and I immediately got let known by some of my virtual friends, and I've been keeping an eye on it since then. But then the day after that is whenever it was fully implemented, and um, yeah, now we are where we are today.
Do you think that if they keep going in this direction, do you think they're gonna make it more geared towards children? Like more kid friendly?
I don't even know really what to say about that. These kids, man.
I mean, I hope not.
How can kids be kids? Like, because they're the kids I meet in VR chat, like, I don't think VR, okay, VR is definitely for kids, okay? I don't know if VR chat is really for kids. I think it's great for kids to be there and they're allowed to play it, but it's not for kids. It's a fucking life game.
Yeah.
So you're putting like it's just like life, and they're going somewhere without like a bubble of their
Mhm.
parents. And I don't think VR chat needs to be that bubble. It's like literally just like giving your kid a Facebook account.
Mhm.
It's the same level of protection. And um, as far as them playing it, all like you said, kids, and I just thought of the hundreds of times that I've seen kids running around, and they're the most offensive players on there, like for
I
real.
I
Like
believe
you want to
you.
talk about getting people like I see kids having KKK avatars and Hitler avatars
Oh my god.
and really, 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 really racist avatars. And all I can do is hide the avatar so I don't have to see it, and I report it to VR chat. But and then you don't want to know the things that these kids are saying, and they don't need those avatars just to talk like that either. So that's a whole thing in itself, you
Yeah,
know.
it really is. Yeah.
But also at the same time, I think um, in a way that's I mean, there's probably some stuff to be done there, but also I'd like to say it is kind of like a part of life. These kids are getting some social experience
Mhm.
this way because people will tell them to fuck right off when that is not cool. But honestly, like that's not the bigger picture here because a lot of times that's what they want, is they just want to offend people. Um, they're trolls. That's
Yeah.
literally what it is. Um,
I literally met somebody who sounded like they were 5 years old in an Animal Crossing world one time.
I need to see this world.
Oh my gosh. It's a cool world. It's like like everything is to scale and everything. Um like in Animal Crossing. But
Yeah.
the only thing is that like there's obviously always kids in there, but this one person like came up to me and they sounded like they were no older than like 4 to 5 cuz they couldn't even like hardly talk or make sentences make sense. And I was just like,
Yeah,
no.
that's funny. Yeah. A lot of you get a lot of sounding characters on there. I always wonder like who's you can generally tell when they're kids just because of how they talk.
Yes.
But yeah, there's some people that sound like kids anyway. But there's also a whole nother topic that I don't even think we have time for today about the kids' safety and how VR chat is kind of like
Well, we have like 30 minutes left. I mean, we might be able to fit some of that in there.
maybe. I don't know too much. I just stay away from this for sure.
Yeah.
Not that it's something that's hard to avoid, but basically, what I'm trying to get at, is that VR chat is like if you're a kid in VR chat, you kind of do have to watch out for like creepy people or like pedophiles. Um, not that. And I think that that's something that the community is well aware of, and that they've
Mm-hmm.
done a pretty good job of. VR chat has, at least, I don't hear any or a lot of horror stories, but you do know that those people are on there. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's a whole thing in itself. And then, you know, it's just a kid talking to an adult, just like anywhere else on the internet or the world.
Yeah.
Stranger danger. Yeah, and I think that's all really about like how you raise your kids. You need to tell them like never tell someone where you live,
I
you know,
totally agree. I think that
that
is
kind of
what it
stuff.
boils down to is like just parents knowing who their kids are talking to.
Exactly.
Cuz they try to like, oh, you got me heated now. It's like when they try to blame the service or the game for their bad parenting, that triggers me so hard. I will fight you.
Yes. Yes, exactly. And I also think, like, just to go back to our original topic,
Sure.
but with everything we talked to about the mods, I feel like it's also, like, in a way, a gun metaphor. Not that I want to shed light on the gun issue, but it's like VR chat's trying to take away your guns in VR, because they're trying to take away this tool that people are using to protect themselves and make
Mhm.
quality of life better. And they're doing that thinking it's going to take away the bad people's weapons too.
Mhm.
And the fact is that's just not true. Like, the bad people know how to make guns. Um, they know how to make programs. They will decipher your code. They will get in.
Mhm.
And your average Joe won't. So we kind of need those mods, and we need, which are made by good people making those, weapons for us, metaphorically,
Yeah, to protect
to,
yourself.
yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's pretty. I think that really covers as far as VR stuff going on right now. There's a lot. I definitely recommend checking out Neos and Chill Out VR. Download it, give them your support just to help them grow, and try it for yourself and see if you like it. I mean, why be upset about something if there could be something better that you just could download?
Mhm.
Um, I don't think it's better yet, but I think we all need to give them a chance and try and go support I actually believe Chill VR has a like Patreon or something.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So you can definitely go to the interwebs and you can support them and maybe get them a few servers, because to my knowledge, that's like the biggest reason why people aren't going. If like the people that aren't going are just saying that it's too small. And I think that's just because it's new. And as long as this guy in his basement doesn't get bought out by Facebook, then it'll be a great place to do what we love to do.
Facebook needs to cool it, man. Like stop buying everything like Disney. Quit it.
Facebook needs, yeah, they need to stop. Like, just stop. Um, I don't know. I'm definitely not like a politician. I don't like politics at all.
Me
I
neither.
see things and I'm just like, I'm just gonna stay home and pretend like this ain't happening. But um, man, I lost my train of thought. I'm surprised I went this long without losing a train of thought.
No, it's good stuff. Good stuff. Um,
Um,
Side note, I don't know if you
yeah.
noticed, but I left the VR chat group on
Which
Telegram
one?
again. The one that you and I were both in, I think. The like
Um,
Austin one or whatever.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I haven't been in there. Flea, you're messing up my firehouse. Yeah, I peek my head in the VR groups every now and then, but she wants out. But yeah, I don't. I'm not that active in them.
Oh,
Did I tell you I got a new avatar?
no. Another
Ah,
one?
yeah, yeah. It's awesome.
What
And
what
that's
is it?
um, it's it's like a Hopkin, but it's a dog. So it's a ARF Ken.
What is a
And
hopkin?
uh, I'll have to just send you a picture.
Okay.
Um, but it's super cute, and I can't show anybody because VR chat's being stupid.
Is it rainbow?
It is. It's Max.
I
Oh,
knew it.
yeah.
Gotta have
It's
those
pretty.
rainbows.
It's awesome. The rainbow line, actually, like instead of it being like a line of rainbows, it changes colors throughout the rainbow pattern.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's yeah, it's pretty neat.
I got in trouble
How'd you get in trouble?
in
You
in
don't get in trouble.
in the park bark chat. I got in trouble.
Oh no, what? How'd you
I
get? What'd you do?
I swore.
So?
That's what I said.
Hold
And
on, are you for real?
yeah, I'm for real. So the other day I was talking about finding a bug in my apartment. I was like, "Hey, what kind of bug is this? Anybody know?" And I don't remember exactly what was said, but I said I don't fuck with bugs, and the mod in that chat was like, "Hey, watch your language," and I was like, "Since when?" And they were like, "Since we started this chat." I'm like, "Nuh-uh, I've been here for like 2.5 years, and
Yeah.
everybody's always swearing in there." So I just left. I'm like, "Fuck this, I'm out of here."
Yeah, that's well, who which mod? Was it Wines? Or
No,
like
it
that's
was
ridiculous.
the what
Is it his boyfriend?
it starts with a K.
Kahala Dog? It was
Yeah,
Kahala Dog?
yeah.
What? That's crazy.
I
That makes me
know.
sad.
I was like, since when do people not swear in this chat? Like,
Yeah.
are you
I don't
kidding
wanna like
me?
turn this podcast into a whole thing of talking shit about our
No.
community, but I've been so we're not gonna do it, but yeah, you should call me after this podcast because I feel discouraged by our community.
Oh, same. Yeah,
It makes me not feel welcome. And I feel like that's extremely odd because that's how furries are always like, oh, we're all inclusive, we love you. Like,
yeah.
unless we disagree with you, then, or like, or apparently even if you swear in the wrong place, like, Jesus
Well,
Christ.
it's funny you mention that because I actually kind of talked about that a little bit with my friend Alex, just about like just people are like gatekeeping a lot. Maybe that's not the right term, or maybe it is. I don't know. But just like really picky on like who they let into their social circles and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's really weird because it feels like that. And then also, there's just like no structure. So like it feels like that, and I think that that's like you're right, like that's what they're going for. But also they're just letting anybody and everybody in, and then trying to make everybody like trying to censor it in a way that makes everybody comfortable. But then
Yeah.
like they totally forget. Like they make all like a large amount of people feel really uncomfortable, like they can't say anything. So then they feel like everybody in the chat agrees with them
Mhm.
when really there's just like a lot of people who feel like they can't speak up with their own opinions and they're kind of like, fuck this chat. And some people just stay because it's one of the only ways that we can really know who our furry friends are around here and meet new people coming in.
It's
And
it's not just ours. I mean, this has been happening across the board in different states even. My friends have said. So,
yeah, so it kind of is whack. I don't know. I feel like the whole furry community is like based off of a lie because whenever you
me
first come
too.
in, they're like, unity, like we love everybody, we're a family here. you know, and they
Mhm.
are like a family in the sense that they'll fucking toss you aside if you disagree with them on anything.
Mhm.
So they're like, yeah. I mean, look at the way that furries cancel other furries because of stories that have happened. You know, they just like they love it whenever it turns out someone was 20 and dating a 17-year-old or something like that. You know, they love that. And then it gets
Drama.
canceled.
Yeah.
Not saying that I support anything here. I'm just giving random
No,
vague examples.
you're right.
But yeah,
Yeah.
um, and they don't care like what gets destroyed along the way. Careers, fans, patrons, any of that.
Mhm.
So it's crazy. Furries love drama. That's true.
I don't think I've ever been like involved in like any of the big dramas like with popufurs and stuff except for one that I can think of. Um I don't know if you know who Dub Mutt is, but they created the Mano Kit, which is like the fox and shark hybrid. Um I think their persona's name was Blue or something like that.
I do not know them.
Okay, well, they were pretty big in the community in like 2017, which is around the time I joined the fandom. And they were like mostly known for art, and they started making fursuits. And I commissioned them for some artwork, and it was fine. Everything went fine. But then I think it was like a couple, maybe like a year later, um there was a huge buyer beware put out on them, basically saying that like they had scammed like multiple people out of thousands of dollars worth of fursuits, and they were trying to run, like they were like changing their name and like moving to a different state and all this crazy stuff. I was like, what? I commissioned them.
Yeah, yeah, like yeah, a furry gets every time a furry gets canceled to the point where I see people like ripping their stickers off of their wall, I immediately go to my stickers and I'm like, "Ooh, do I have them? Sweet, I have them. I'm gonna keep it." Like,
Rare.
um, yeah, it's rare now, but yeah, um, that happens. Um, it's just all crazy. Oh yeah, I think the problem with the furries, which is understandable, is just that they are human,
Mhm.
and it is a large group of humans that have a same interest. So that's you're kind of gonna get what you get in the real world, you know.
Yeah.
We want to pretend to be dogs and stuff, but they still have the emotions of, you know, humans, which is a paradox of yin yang, light, dark, good, bad. That all stems from us. And we are what we choose, but we will feel both because we can't have one without the other. So therefore, we will also create both. And that's just a part of our existence. And it's going to bleed through to the furry world. So I try to be very like, I have thoughts like that all the time because I spend so much time alone.
Yeah.
But um, it doesn't, just being aware of like what is doesn't necessarily make it better. It sucks that people are like they are. Um, but you know, you just gotta. That's where what I'm talking about like comes in is you gotta be that light. Otherwise, there just won't be any.
Yeah. That's why I tend to stick to, only a few people. Like, I'd say, like, in this area and back in Illinois, like, there's only a handful of people in the furry community that I actually talk to on a regular basis, but we're like-minded, we have things in common, and I feel confident enough to call them my friends, including you, but there's also people that I've met that I wouldn't necessarily consider a friend, just kind of somebody I met, you know.
Yeah, acquaintances. I have a
That
lot of those.
that and I just don't trust people anymore. Like
No, me too. You have no idea. Like, that's why I don't let, like, I have friends, but people always like, I just, I don't let people like over to my house unless I've known you for like a while, generally.
Mhm,
And I'm trying to get like better at that, but I mean, it's never resulted good. My life's always been safest whenever I don't do that.
mhm.
Um, because yeah, I've had my house broken into and stuff multiple times through, and it was always like a roommate's friend or something. So it sucks that you can't just like trust people like that. People be crazy. There's all kinds of people out there. That's what's crazy.
It's funny you mention that. I don't want to talk about this too much, but I feel like it's appropriate just to mention it right as we're talking about this. So, one of the pastors from my church who has known me my entire life and my parents, like, like they go way
Hmm.
back, I guess.
Yeah, I know
It
that figure.
it was recently like uncovered, I guess, that he has a pretty shady past. And I know a lot of people say, well, like he's a church pastor, like it's like the classic scenario, blah blah blah.
Right. Yeah.
I understand that, but like when you've grown up in it and you've babysat their kids and you know them like as another like almost family member, and you didn't
Yeah.
know about that and then it just kind of comes out, it's really jarring. Like I don't know how to process it, I guess. But
Yeah.
it's
It's
kind of
definitely.
led me sorry, it's kind of led me to like look at other people that I've had relationships with and just be like, who can I really trust?
How well do I really know you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause people don't talk about the bad things they've done. Um, that's totally for sure. You know, I do you remember, for those of you listening who don't know, I used to work for a company and I did a lot for them, and then they ended up screwing me over in the end. Do you know what I'm talking about, Sharky?
I think
Have
so.
we have I talked to you about this? I don't talk about it a lot.
I think you did.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, they messed me up pretty bad. And after I'd separated my ways with them, I started looking into them as individuals and I ran background checks and stuff. And turns out like I was not the first person they fucked over like that. They had like three other court cases going on, and
Mhm.
they were like my best friends. Like I was going to their weddings and shit. Like, so you just never know with people, and it's really sad
Yeah,
like that.
and the thing that happened with this guy is like it wasn't like a small thing. I mean, it was kind of like a big deal. I'm not gonna say what he did exactly, but it
Hmm.
was enough to make me go like, wow, like that's really concerning that he has kept this hidden from everybody he knows for 30 years. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, that part's pretty crazy, because, especially like because he's a priest and stuff. What you're saying, and you know the classic story. But usually, when that's the case, they're really open about it. They're like, "Here's how I found God. Like, this is my story. I did time.
See,
You
and
know,
he's
here's the
mentioned
story of
stuff.
how I attempted to kill someone." You know, like I've
he's
heard that in a
he's
church, but
mentioned stuff like similar, like I guess he was more vague about stuff, but uh, in all my years of like hearing him preach, I've never heard him mention this particular thing. It's always been like his other life experiences, but never this thing. And I was like, huh.
yeah, that's pretty weird.
Mhm.
I mean, he might have just, had that much shame about it. But,
Yeah.
as the leader, he should have not done that. He should have stepped up a lot sooner.
Yeah. So I guess
30 years
like
is a long time.
basically now there's like a lot of not just him, but there's a lot of people coming out with like stories of this network and like all this stuff that they've experienced, and it's made me feel weird the last couple weeks cuz I just don't know how to process it cuz I grew up, going to this church, and like my parents have always been really involved and everything, and like I don't know. Like I just don't know how to deal with it, Like if I should still go or I don't know.
Um, well, honestly, and normally, I don't know if this is. I wouldn't. The advice I'm about to give you is not general advice, so those listening, don't apply it to your random situation. But
Okay.
if that was me, or if I was you, not if you were me, put it that way. Uh, then I would just follow the parents' lead. You know,
Yeah.
it's because he's more their friend than your friend.
Yeah.
Um, and you know, it if you back off or whatever, it could make them. I feel like parents get embarrassed easily and stuff. Um, and I don't. He's probably not like so fixated on you. Like there's probably changing your relationship with this man probably wouldn't actually change much.
Oh,
Um,
I know.
I just
Yeah.
wouldn't. Uh, I guess there's the question of if you'd like to get closer with him. Like if your parents were suddenly like, "Hey, we're going on a cruise with so and so," that might raise another topic. But
I guess
um,
like how I feel about his situation. I
just
trust
play
the
it cool.
guy. I trust him. I've talked to him on many occasions, just one on one, and I mean I like him. Like he's nice and he has a lot of like life experience that I can relate to and stuff. And I don't think he's a bad guy just because of this one thing that he did in his past. But
Of
I get
course.
I guess I've just been thinking about like the church as a whole. Like what else is going on that like should
Uh,
I be concerned? You know.
yeah. Now, when you say the church as a whole, you mean this one building?
No, I don't want to say too much, but it's kind of like a network of churches.
Okay, so then yeah. I would also be suspicious, but I'm already suspicious of all like big churches.
I know.
And
Yeah.
then, so
I'm
yeah,
kind of just airing out my feelings, you know,
for sure. I
cuz
hear you.
cuz I haven't really talked to anybody about it since it happened, so I'm just kind of venting a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can always talk to me about that kind of stuff. Doesn't have to be a podcast.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah. Um yeah, I don't know. You'd know more than me.
But it goes
Just kind of
back it goes back to that thing though of just like I just have such a hard time trusting people in today's like culture, I guess. Because some people
yeah,
overshare and some people are like shady. Like it just depends on the
definitely.
situation.
I've also definitely found out that there is levels of trust.
Yeah,
Um
yeah, there
for
is.
sure. Definitely not a black and white thing.
Mhm.
So that's always like sometimes when people are like, "You don't trust me," it's like, well, I trust you, like, but there's levels, like,
No, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
yeah,
Like you trust them with certain things, but maybe not other things.
of course, yeah, and I think sometimes people forget that. Um,
Mhm.
like, yeah, I'll let you come over to my house, like, I'm not gonna sleep with you yet. Like,
Right. Yeah.
so
Yeah. Well, we're just about at 1 hour. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
birds aren't real.
It's a simulation.
No, yeah. Um, no, I don't have too much to say these days. Just
Thanks for coming on the
kind of,
podcast.
yeah, thanks so much. If you ever think I might have something to say, you're always welcome to invite me.
Sure,
Hope
yeah.
we do.
I'll have
But yep,
to I'll have to share the topics list with you so you can add to it and edit it.
yeah,
Cuz
for
I
sure.
like everybody that I bring on the podcast, we have this like list of topics and everybody can just kind of like add their own or something interesting.
For sure. Word, yeah, that'd be cool.
All right. Well, thank you everybody so much for listening and we'll see you next time.
Yes.